Hey guys, welcome back to Fundamentally Crypto, where I teach you how to navigate the cryptoverse. So in today's video, we're going to be deep diving into RMRK and specifically why I'm so bullish on this project. We'll be discussing some of the value offerings that they have, what makes them fundamentally different to every other NFT project, and why I believe that RMRK will be the gateway to adoption for Polkadot and DOTSAMA. Guys, do not sleep on what they are doing. So firstly, what is RMRK? They define it as a set of NFT Legos that are standalone but allow the NFT creator to build a system of arbitrary complexity when putting them together. So what does this mean? This means that NFTs can own other NFTs. Secondly, NFTs that can listen to commands or issue them to their so-called children. So if you can imagine, there would be a parent NFT and then a child NFT that owns that child essentially. Thirdly, NFTs as DAOs that can, through fractional ownership, be controlled by a group. NFTs that can react to emotion with conditional rendering and logic. And lastly, NFTs that can have multiple resources at once. So I know this is a mouthful, but we're going to break it down using examples that are already currently in their marketplaces. So here's just a screenshot of one of the founder NFTs on the Canaria marketplace. So this is the parent NFT, right? This bird. Now on this bird, you can equip the bird with other NFTs, right? So the parent NFT would be the bird, and then all of these sub NFTs or child NFTs can be equipped onto the bird, and which makes it dynamic. You can change your NFT, you can build it up, make it more rare, all of these things. So for example, you can add these gems, you can change the background, you can add this item, you can change the hat, for example, change this wing, you can make it wear gems. And you might ask, okay, well, what's the point of that? You need to understand item economies. We're going to discuss this a bit later, but the value and the power of an item economy, firstly in a marketplace, but now when you incorporate that into a game or into a metaverse, suddenly this becomes a very powerful set of, you could call it logic or a new NFT standard as they refer to it. So for example, like why would you want to equip this gem? So you can get super creative, but I'm just giving you an example. So they call these gems Nord Sun gems. So essentially what these gems do is they give their holders, technically the holders of the NFT birds holding the gems, 19.7% of revenue from the RMRK team's future profits. So on the marketplace that I'm going to show you a bit later, all of the transaction fees and the royalty fees will get split, right, amongst the holders of these gems. And so suddenly your NFT that you're holding owns a gem, and now suddenly this gem is accruing value for you just for holding it, right? So I want to show you guys, like, this isn't just some type of roadmap. They've actually built this. Like, it's a real marketplace with real volume, real people using it, not just bots trading this. So this is just a screenshot, but for example, you'd buy your bird, right, which is the parent NFT, and then you'd be able to equip it with gems, items. Yuletide was a special event, and so in this case, for example, you could equip your bird with these different items. Now, why this is important is you can increase the rarity of your NFT. Now, you might just say, okay, but what's the point of this? Remember, this standard can be integrated into different games, into a whole host of use cases. But the point is, there's utility. There's actually value being added, and that people can speculate and trade on. So for example, this is now on the marketplace here. There's all these different items that you can add and speculate on and add to your character or to your NFT. And it definitely brings a new dynamic where something I haven't seen in the NFT space. And, since I've been following RMRK since they basically launched their token. And it's just been amazing to see how this has developed and to see the real sales and real volume and interest from the community. So I wanted to reiterate, they've actually built the product. Remember, like we've seen this in crypto so many times, this isn't just some other type of roadmap. There's an actual working product with real people using it. So I just wanted to point that out in case you were wondering. Here are the key value propositions. So firstly, evolvable NFTs. So NFTs that can be updated over time. So what this means is that every NFT minted on Singular can be updated over time because Singular allows you to add new resources alongside existing ones. So for example, an NFT badge becomes overly retro and needs an update. The issuer of the NFTs can propose an updated resource or image for the visuals, which can only be added to the NFTs if the owners accept this change. So what's great is it doesn't get forced upon you. If you like your retro NFT, then great. But if you feel like you need an update, then you can accept that update. Secondly, the value proposition of nested NFTs. So this is huge. NFTs that own other NFTs. So every NFT minted on Singular can own or be owned by other NFTs. So for example, you can create accessories for NFTs like we saw in the example I showed previously. An avatar NFT series can have add-ons like hats, lightsabers, etc. And that's what I showed earlier. But for those League of Legends fans like me, our beloved Teemo, if you wanted to equip him with his hat and ears, you could do that. You would obviously have to own Teemo first, but if you feel like you don't want him to have ears, you don't have to give him ears and you can rather give him horns. So I'm just giving an example, but imagine a game like League of Legends where suddenly you can change every part of your character's skin. No more having to settle for, like Easter Bunny Teemo. You can now combine Easter Bunny Teemo with, with his basic skin or maybe, one of his thousands of skins. You know what I'm saying? Thirdly, attachable NFTs. So NFTs that can equip other NFTs. So every NFT minted on Singular can equip or be equipped by other NFTs. So for example, a bird parent NFT can equip a hat child NFT. So when equipped, the image is displayed on the bird parent NFT and it will change to the one with the bird and the cap. So for example, here's this bird without this wheel behind it. But now when you equip it, you suddenly have the wheel. Likewise, this, this terrain that it's sitting on, you can buy something on the marketplace that's currently more rare than your one, and then you can equip it, and suddenly your NFT becomes worth a lot more. Fourthly, reactive NFTs. So NFTs that change based on conditions. So every NFT minted on Singular can change based on certain conditions being met. So for example, an NFT can have two backgrounds as child NFTs to represent night and day. During nighttime, the image with the night background will be displayed and vice versa. Think about when Christmas time comes. Suddenly you want everyone to be, covered in snow, maybe wearing Santa hats with a Christmas tree behind them. These type of things can be brought into collections and not only stay limited to NFTs, but can form part of gaming. And that's sort of what I'm heading towards. Fifth, smart NFTs. NFTs can have multiple resources. So what this means is there can be a 3D model file that shows maybe on the website. There can be a high-res image for Twitter or a thumbnail image to be loaded on the search results page. It can be represented as an MP3 or a PDF with lyrics or notes. Whatever you want, RMRK has developed this into their standards, which is pretty dope. And this, that makes the use cases quite unlimited. Multi-chain NFTs, super important. NFTs that can teleport to other blockchains. So every Singular minted NFT can be sent to any chain that implements the advanced RMRK NFT standard, emphasizing the NFT standard. Remember the ERC20s? I believe that this is going to become the standard. So currently over 6 blockchains on Polkadot and Kusama are working on integrations, and this is quite an old graphic. There's been way more, including Moonriver, Glimmer, you name it, they've integrated by now. And so last and not least, everyone loves the eco-friendly mint, and they've covered their bases on that. So I just wanted to comment on why I think that this is going to be the entry point into DOTSAMA. So if you've been following what's happened in the crypto space, there's been a lot of hacks on bridges and stuff. And Polkadot's just such an obvious solution. Now, Polkadot is heating up with most of the parachains being finished now, while still ongoing, but the core teams have been onboarded. And essentially what we just need in the ecosystem is the masses to come in. But we've seen in 2021 the power of NFTs and how it can just, it just brings people in, and it's amazing the way that it does it. So I believe that Remark will be the entry point for the masses to come into this ecosystem, because they're going to be drawn to what Remark has to offer. And as soon as they get their hands on this, they're going to see, oh my word, Polkadot and Kusama is absolutely incredible, and that's going to bring them in. So understand that DOTSAMA is heating up, and we know that the value accrual of this incredible system. So once the masses are here, they will flood into DOTSAMA through Remark. And I truly believe this, and you need to position yourself accordingly. So I wanted to reiterate that this is real innovation. Like, it's not just a copy and paste project like we've seen so many other times in different, on different blockchains. So Bruno and his team have actually done something we haven't seen before in the crypto space. It's real utility and unlocks incredible potential for games. And most importantly, the Remark standard is multi-chain. It's not just limited to, my little blockchain. It's got a big vision, and they've got a big vision, which I'm sure they'll achieve over the long run. So I want to touch on the difference between Remark 1.0 and Remark 2.0. So Remark 1.0, just in short, is simple, Ethereum-like, and they don't do much other than looking good. So plus they have on-chain emotes. So essentially, this is what's on their site singular, or what was on their site singular. And then what's currently being released is Remark 2.0. And this is the multi-resource NFTs, exactly like I described in the value, in their value offerings. So just in short, as you can see, a Remark 1.0 was and still is a marketplace just for static NFTs. You can also do 3D NFTs on there, which is pretty cool, but it doesn't have any of the value offerings that I spoke of before. But so this marketplace saw huge adoption. I mean, there's incredible creators on here, and I even minted some stuff, and I had a lot of fun on there. It was really, really cool. Now, Remark 2.0 is what we've all been waiting for, and this is why you should care. So there's royalties, there's Dutch auctions for selected auctions. It's got everything that I spoke of earlier. NFTs can support custom attributes. They can be made revealable without centralizing the metadata, and NFTs can have multiple resources. So an example of this was the Canaria drop, and this was a fair drop they did actually to release all of their tokens. So they actually have an incredible, they've got incredible tokenomics where 95% of the token supply was dropped to the community, with only 5% to the team. So, I mean, you're not pretty much not going to get better tokenomics than them, but that's not the focus of this video. I want you to notice the volume and the top sale, the owners. I mean, this is like organic growth. This is stuff that is actually being traded amongst hardcore members of the community, and that's why it's been such a success. It's real value accrual that's happening, and so I'm going to show you a bit of the marketplace now. So I know I keep hammering down on this, but they've actually got products. Like it's seriously working. I mean, here's all the NFTs. These stuff are in high demand because of the metaverse that's coming up. That again is not just like every other metaverse. It's real, and it's going to be awesome, and I'll cover that in another video. But I'm just showing you once again, there's actual adoption here, and that's why you should care about this. So I just want to touch on Remark and Moonriver. So Remark actually got a grant from the Moonbeam Foundation, and so the point is to bring smart contract functionality to Remark NFTs, which is essentially Remark 2.0, and achieve their vision. So remember, I'm bullish on Remark 2. The token might be down, but guys, I've been there before. That's not something you want to sleep on. So once again, new projects will be able to mint advanced NFTs appropriate for the advanced multi-chain environment of Polkadot and Kusama. So existing projects can migrate into actually useful, interactive, reactive, evolvable NFTs with dedicated and shared item economies for long-lasting liquidity and forward compatibility. So the use case it's really like, it's endless, and you need to understand how much value can accrue to this type of standard or token, whatever. Yeah. So now I wanted to touch on the power of an item economy. So this is, I believe a very important part of RMRK and an important part of their marketplace, and why it also makes them different. It's that the economy of a game extends far beyond the content of the in-game store. So a well-constructed economy is balanced, nuanced, and embedded in the core gameplay loop without being prohibitive to non-spenders, right? So think of your favorite games you've played and how big the game economy becomes. Something that jumps to mind for me is just CSGO, right? It's not prohibitive to non-spenders. So you don't need to spend money on skins on CSGO. But what would be amazing is if they could adopt this type of standard where, you as the player actually own the NFTs and you can build your unique skin for your gun and maybe for however you wanted to customize it. But the point is, understand from the games you've played historically how big an item economy becomes and the value that it brings to the game or to that ecosystem. So I did some research into what actually makes an item economy work, and these were the main things that came up, and RMRK has all of them. Okay, so they said that you need to have a store or a marketplace system. Check. There needs to be area exploration or harvesting, which is what they are bringing in their metaverse, which again, it's not just some kind of roadmap, it's real and they're actually building it. Thirdly, quests and tasks, which they have. Fourth, combat rewards. And fifth, crafting and investment. All of these are what make an item economy work and makes it thrive amongst the community, of which RMRK ticks every box. So everything I mentioned before is building up to the RMRK Metaverse. So they were building this Metaverse and really, I could say, planning it long before the Metaverse hype came last year. So I will do a deep dive into it, just not in this video. But essentially, the key things are that you have ownership of experience, right? The land plots integrate the RMRK 2.0 standard. Essentially, you have your land. On top of that land, you can bring all your NFTs into that piece of land, and obviously build whatever you want and accrue value to your space in the metaverse. There's skills and experience cards, crafting and resources, world governance, and token and item economy. So I'll deep dive into all of this into another video. But the point is, they built this whole standard so they can integrate it into something like this. And it'll be an incredible example of the power of this. So I wanted to show you guys a use case for the RMRK standard by an incredible team by Mr. Donnie Big Bags. Shout out to you, bro. You are an absolute legend. But he and his team started something called Moonsama. And remember how I want you to look at this is that it's the RMRK standard. So Moonsama isn't now trying to compete with RMRK. They are actually integrating the RMRK standard, which is accruing value to RMRK, right? And so they took what Bruno and his team built and said, you know what, this is incredible. We're going to integrate this into their own metaverse, which they're actually playing in Minecraft, which is pretty amazing. But essentially, they took the standard and the palettes that RMRK built and integrated it into their own game. And I'm going to show you the value of that and how it's absolutely boomed. And this is only the first sort of use that someone has actually integrated it. So what Donnie and his team actually did is, so they took these 2.0 RMRK 2.0 standard and they integrated into their own thing called Moonsama. So I'm sure if you're watching this video, you might have seen this before, but essentially what they've been doing is they've been taking this and as you can see, like building an item economy from that. So with swords, with like crowns, hats, shirts, all of that is what they have been doing already and will continue doing. And they've been actually playing in Minecraft. So for example, how it works is you would buy the NFT, which would be a Moonsama, and that will give you access into their server. And then every Sunday night, these guys would play in the Minecraft server, build stuff, mine resources, and all of that goes into the item economy, which they then sell on the open marketplace. I mean, these guys have been making like crazy cash, over $2,000, I've heard, on a Sunday night. I mean, pretty lucrative, and it's such an incredible niche community that's just growing every single week. So this is what I want to show you and just give you a taste of what's possible with the RMRK standard. So here they outline how this works. So for example, you have your character NFT. Now on his main hand, he has this sword, right? Which is made up of these two items. Then he uses the umbrella, the hamburger, and that to formulate something else. So the crafting comes into play. All of that forms into the marketplace. So again, look at how it's building on this multi-chain narrative. So you can use your NFTs with utility to your character across EVM compatible chains and metaverses, right? You can equip and evolve NFTs. So composable NFT solution is coming to Moonsama. So you can equip your NFTs to your character, again, like the RMRK 2.0 standard, and evolve their stats and evolve your NFT character. And lastly, you can craft and trade your NFT items. So Moonsama Minecraft is the first metaverse in our multiverse and a proof of this concept. So this is an initial demonstration of their bi-directional multiverse bridge, and it enables you to use marketplace NFTs in-game and transfer collected or crafted resources. So essentially, they are showing a use case for the standard, and it is absolutely working like a bomb. So yeah, guys, it's pretty incredible. So here's Mr. Donnie Big Bags himself, and I just want to show you guys his tweet and show you he's seeing what I'm seeing. I mean, he's building on this, he's investing into this, so shout out to him. But here is his old NFT, right? So this is the current state of Moonsama. Now they've integrated and building towards RMRK 2.0, okay? So now suddenly this NFT, they upgrade the metadata. So remember we said earlier that you can like, I'm trying to remember the terminology, but essentially you offer the NFT holder the ability to upgrade their artwork. So that's what happened here. But now, in addition to that, he can take his weapon, clothing, offhand, foreground, pets, accessories, change the background. So essentially, he's equipping and upgrading all of these different things to improve his NFT and potentially its in-game use case. So in this use case, how do you get access to this? Because this sounds crazy, right? So to get your equipable NFTs, the only way right now is fighting against 500 plus players. Literally every Sunday, 500 people are playing against one another. And they're mining stone, they're chopping wood, getting resources, fighting against each other, so that they can accrue these resources so that they can craft things on the marketplace. And what enables this? This is all just the RMRK standard and the vision that Bruno set forth. So guys, in conclusion, I just want to say that this video isn't all of RMRK, but I'm just trying to give you the vision. So the value capture of this ecosystem is huge, right? I truly believe that this will be the gateway into DOTSAMA and that item economies will thrive, right? This is clear. I mean, if you can adopt the standard into your game, which we know that gaming is going to absolutely explode in crypto, you just need a decent game like Moonsama, like the Canary Skybridge Metaverse that's coming. And we know that item economies will thrive off the back of that because of the standard, and that the RMRK Metaverse will explode and Moonsama will get absolutely sent. So guys, that's the video for today. Please like and subscribe. I know this is quite a lengthy video, but it really helps me grow and that I can make some more solid content for you guys. But have a great day, and yeah, guys, keep stacking this token. This is not financial advice, but I would stack it if I were you.